What makes a movie feel important before anyone has seen a single frame? In the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, and globally, some of the world's most competitive film markets, the answer isn't just marketing. It's the weight of the story, the scale of the legacy, and the sheer audacity of the gamble. Some films are destined to be global events, titles that don't just fill seats, but define the cultural conversation for years. Today, we are ranking the most anticipated unreleased films that are set to dominate the global box office. We are looking at why these movies are considered Hollywood's biggest bets and exactly what the world is expecting when the lights finally go down. This is CineLogic. 1. Avatar, Fire and Ash. Avatar, Fire and Ash is more than just a sequel. It's a technological and narrative stress test for the future of cinema. This chapter takes us into the volcanic ash people regions of Pandora, a darker, more aggressive side of the planet that challenges the peaceful image we've seen so far. It moves beyond the simple human versus Na'vi war, exploring an internal tribal conflict that feels more like a political thriller than a fantasy epic. This movie carries the monumental expectation of proving that the Avatar effect isn't just about pretty visuals. It's about a world deep enough to sustain a multi-decade saga. Global audiences are looking for James Cameron to once again redefine what is possible in a theater, making it the undeniable #1 bet on our list. When a world feels this real, every return has to feel earned. 2. Dune, Messiah. Dune, Messiah is where the hero's journey officially deconstructs. Paul Atreides has won the throne, but he is now a prisoner of his own prophecy, watching as his Fremen followers unleash a galactic jihad in his name. This film is expected to be a psychological masterclass, shifting from the wide-scale desert wars of the first two films to the claustrophobic corridors of power and the moral rot of absolute rule. The expectation here is high-concept sci-fi at its most mature. Audiences in North America and the UK are anticipating a subversion of the hero, a story that asks if the savior we cheered for was actually the villain all along. Victory is never the end of the story. 3. Avengers, Secret Wars. Avengers: Secret Wars is being positioned as the ultimate reset button for the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. This isn't just a movie, it's a corporate and creative event designed to merge decades of film history into one final reality-shattering battle. We're talking about the convergence of the MCU, the Fox X-Men universe, and potentially every variant we've ever seen. The global expectation is a grand finale that rivals Endgame. Fans are looking for a story that finally justifies the chaos of the multiverse, providing a definitive resolution that allows the franchise to potentially reboot and start fresh. When worlds collide, the stakes become existential. 4. Spider-Man, Brand New Day. Spider-Man 4, or Brand New Day, takes Peter Parker back to basics. No Stark tech, no Avengers support, and no one left who remembers his name. This movie is a gritty, street-level reset, focusing on a lonely Peter in a cramped New York apartment, struggling to balance his survival with his duty as the neighborhood's protector. The expectation is a return to the Parker luck, the grounded, emotional storytelling that made the character a global icon in the first place. Audiences want to see a Spider-Man who bleeds, who struggles, and who has to prove his worth without a billion-dollar suit. When everything is gone, character is all that remains. 5. The Batman, Part 2. The Batman, Part 2 doubles down on the noir, detective-driven atmosphere that set the first film apart. In a world increasingly saturated with cinematic universes, this film is a bet on the standalone epic. Bruce Wayne is expected to move deeper into the shadows of Gotham's history, uncovering rot that even his father couldn't escape. The expectation is a Seven-style crime saga, Fans aren't looking for world-ending stakes, they're looking for a methodical, haunting mystery that treats Gotham City as a living, breathing antagonist. Some heroes don't rise into the light, they sink deeper into the truth. 6. 28 years later. 28 years later is the long-awaited revival of the franchise that changed the horror genre forever. Directed by Danny Boyle and written by Alex Garland, this film skips ahead decades to show us a world where the rage virus isn't a new outbreak, it's a permanent part of the environment. The story is a coming-of-age journey through a landscape that has learned to live in the shadow of the infected. The expectation is a prestige horror experience. Global audiences are looking for the same visceral, handheld intensity of the original, but with a new philosophical layer about how humanity adapts to a never-ending nightmare. Some horrors don't end, they just settle in. 7. The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. The Hunt for Gollum takes us back to Middle-earth, but through a much narrower lens. This isn't about massive armies, it's about a desperate, secret hunt across a dangerous wilderness. By focusing on Gollum's tragic, obsessive journey, the film promises to explore the darker, more intimate corners of Tolkien's mythology. The expectation is a character-first fantasy. Fans in the UK and Australia in particular are looking for a return to the practical effects and tonal weight of the original trilogy, a story that feels like history, not just a digital spectacle. Sometimes the most tragic stories belong to the smallest figures. These films represent the future of global cinema. They aren't just movies, they are the benchmarks for what audiences will be talking about for years to come. Unreleased doesn't mean unknown, it means anticipated. Which of these ranked big bets has your vote for the most anticipated movie of the decade? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to see more high-stakes movie breakdowns, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Stay with CineLogic, where we don't just watch the movies, we analyze why they exist.